Jim Jones believed that by making his declaration, the rumors would stop, the whispering would stop, and perhaps the story would even be changed. He was surprised by Chrissy Lampkin's reaction, though. Fans everywhere are expressing the same thing about this heartbreaking, unvarnished, and unadulterated clapback. After 20 years of holding, observing, and waiting back, Chrissy triumphed in the end. This isn't simply another quarrel between celebrities. An empire is collapsing here. The conclusion of the most notorious love story in Harlem, captured in 4,000 and sent directly to your timeline. Imagine this. Jim is seated in that chair in the studio. She was aware of my position. Diamond chains shone, yet my voice was shaking as I told the world, I did my best. He believed those remarks would paint him as the sufferer of a broken heart. However, supporters destroyed the videos as soon as they were posted online. Additionally, when Jim's followers rushed to, Chrissy remained silent till now to protect him. And it wasn't a press release when she responded. The Instagram picture wasn't meticulously arranged. Every platform was rocked by this scorched earth statement of truth, suffering, and treachery because of hacked communications, confidential voicemails, and even unreleased video. From LHHNY's backstage areas are already spreading like wildfire. In the midst of all of this, friends turning into FOs, celebrities taking sides, Twitter threads becoming battlefields, there is Chrissy, louder, sharper, and stronger than ever. Whether Jim Jones makes it through this is not the question. The inquiry is whether Chrissy can now be stopped by anyone. There was no serenity in the hush following Jim Jones's statement. Pressure was the cause. Jim was sitting in that studio chair, looking into the camera while he adjusted his diamond chains. Yes, he believed his words would take back the story. I tried my hardest. She was aware of where he responded in a monotone voice. I stood, but he hesitated as if he were trying to persuade himself more than anybody else. Fans, however, didn't believe the clip when it was leaked online. Line by line, they tore it apart. I tried my hardest. Following 2 decades of evaded suggestions and countless justifications, the internet made a decision at once. Jim was not a casualty. He was in the open. Within minutes, the hashtags started trending. Is it too late for her? Hashtag Chrissy prevailed. Hashtag Jimmy was defeated. Twitter was inundated with memes of Chrissy proposing in 2011 while kneeling. In addition to last week's announcement of her wedding ring, captions cried out, she waited. He wasted. Even TikTok producers chipped in, fusing footage of Jim's speech with videos of Chrissy's most poignant hip-hop and love scenes. One piece went viral with over 2 million views, summarizing the sentiment. And closure. It was confession. And while the internet went crazy, Chrissy remained silent. No press interviews, no cryptic stories, no Instagram posts for 2 days in a row. Chrissy, tell the truth, one Twitter follower said. Insiders knew better than to believe the rings, but one more person added, she don't got to say a word. Chrissy was preparing something major, they murmured. Harlem Truths, a gossip blog notorious for its leaks, was the first unexpected source to break the silence. Suddenly, they released a 20-second audio sample. There was no mistaking the voice. Chrissy's. Her statements were filled with emotion, which was audible. Jimmy, you had 20 years. Give me 20 years to become your wife. Give me peace for 20 years. And you only remained silent with me. Do you believe I was a waste of time? No, sweetheart. You blew your opportunity. The internet went down. Then it blew up. The voice was snipped by fans and superimposed on montage movies of Chrissy and Jim's past. They used her words to create mock-ups, merchandise, tattoos, and captions. The hashtag she said it replaced hashtag Chrissy . The video became viral on the internet in a matter of hours. Despite their best efforts, Jim's allies were unable to halt the trend. Chrissy's voice had turned into a howl of defiance. Then the texts arrived. Online screenshots purportedly taken by Chrissy from a close friend appeared. They were frank, unvarnished, and devastating. He pleaded with me not to make fun of him, yet for decades he had no trouble making fun of me. Enough is enough. I didn't leave to harm him again. To save myself, I went out. The supporters didn't care if it was true or not. Dissected like scripture, they swept through Instagram and Twitter like wildfire. According to insiders, Jim lost it behind the scenes. He allegedly hurled his phone against the table as he rushed around his studio, berating his workers for failing to stop the leaks. He said, She's turning the whole world against me, according to one source. The world was already against him though. Then, from her kitchen counter, Mama Jones entered the fray by sharing one of her famously cryptic films. Fans gasped when she said, "Love don't live in lies, and I taught my son better," while holding a glass of wine. Was she on one side, beside Chrissy? When a behind-the-scenes video from the VH1 reunion emerged, the commotion reached a fever pitch. One fan said, others dragged Jim mercilessly. "If your own mama sides with Chrissy, you done lost." Another fan commented, "Even Mama Jones knows." Someone working on the project had captured the events immediately following Chrissy's marriage announcement. In the video, Mike can be heard grumbling to Jim, "She truly abandoned me for him. Damn." After all, that one line validated all the fans' suspicions. Love didn't surprise Jim. The regret tormented him. Social media was having a great time. Old videos of Chrissy pleading for commitment came back to life. Chrissy burst into tears as Jim dodged the situation with an explanation, with captions like "she begged, he stalled." TikTok compilations piled them next to her wedding announcement. Twitter timelines became battlefields when she marched and won. Chrissy was labeled disloyal by Team Jim. He was hauled by Team Chrissy for squandering 20 years of her life. Celebrities entered the fray just when fans thought it could get any hotter. Mina Erica Cardi B liked a post that said, "She's the queen now." Remy Ma commented, "Chrissy held him down longer than most of y'all would have. Respect her choice." Cardi B tweeted, "This is why you don't play with a woman's time." Each response fueled the flames. Additionally, Jim's self-defense statement was overshadowed by Chrissy's surge. Chrissy wasn't finished though. She finally spoke up by going live on Instagram, wearing a stylish white suit, perfect makeup, but a tough face. She gazed directly at the camera. Jimmy had a moment. He spoke his mind. "This is my now. I gave my youth, my love, and my commitment to him. Together, we built. I gave up something for him, and he believed that I would wait interminably. However, forever possesses a date of expiration." The comments section went crazy. Fire emojis poured into verified accounts. Chats with Queen and Preacher were bombarded by fans. "The difference between Jimmy and me is that when I say I do, I mean it. I said it to the man who chose me, not the man who wasted me," Chrissy added, leaning closer and nearly whispering. There was silence on the internet. Jim's supporters were unable to spin it. The tide had turned entirely. The headlines shouted, "At last, Chrissy prevailed." But another storm formed before everyone had time to rejoice. 11:57 p.m. A teaser was posted by Harlem Truths. "Receipts that will complete the tale tomorrow." Just a black background with white letters, no context, no details. #receipts at midnight began trending within minutes. Fans conjectured endlessly. Was it Chrissy, concealing more sinister realities? Did Jim have a personal secret? Or was someone else going to come into the story? The internet remained silent. Jim said nothing. Chrissy stopped performing live. Mama Jones vanished. And already divided and enamored, followers continued to stare at their TVs. Since everyone was aware of the same thing, the storm had not passed. The storm was barely getting started. Harlem Truths came out when the clock struck midnight. It wasn't just a leak that fell. It was a blast. Under the headline, their website displayed screenshots, audio files, and poor video footage. The truth behind the 20-year-old secrets of Jim and Chrissy. A slew of purported text exchanges between Jim and an unidentified confidant was the first shocking revelation. Just a few months prior to Chrissy's wedding, in one conversation, fans exploded as Jim commented, "She's bluffing. Chrissy ain't going nowhere. She addicted to me. Even if she walked, she'll always come back." Another line said, "She might think she's strong, but she ain't built to live without Jimmy." The haughtiness was evident in the remarks. He truly believed she was a prisoner to his ego, as seen by the numerous tweets that featured screenshots of the texts with descriptions like "This is why she left." Harlem Truths, however, was not yet complete. Next, they released audio. Raw resentment was revealed in a 45-second voicemail purportedly sent by Jim to a buddy. "I'm not, man. Even so, she married. She did it without me, and I'm furious. She ought to have given me the final say after all this time. On TV, she made me look foolish. I am unable to forgive that." Thus, the audio became popular right away. The makers of TikTok placed Jim is described as the man who lost everything yet still desired control beneath melancholy piano music. The man who desired power despite losing everything. The video clip followed. Fans let out a gasp. It was shaky backstage video taken on a staff member's phone during the VH1 reunion. In it, Jim shouts in the background as Chrissy rushes out of her dressing room. Corridor, you're just going to play me that way then? Chrissy's voice quivers, but retorts sharply. Jimmy, play you. You are the one who played yourself. You have 20 years to decide whether or not to pick me. I choose myself. The internet went crazy. Videos went viral on all platforms. Another fan commented, "We're watching the fall of Jim Jones in real time." Celebrities also weighed in, writing, "Ain't love hip hop. This is Shakespeare." The video was shared by 50 Cent with the caption, "Like the rent was due. She checked him." 20 years ago, Michelle tweeted, "This is why I don't wait on no man." No, Braxton went live tomorrow, claiming that Chrissy donated her life and that he made excuses for it. She was the last to laugh. Jim's camp rushed to deny as the leak spread. A brief statement was issued by his manager. These alleged leaks are completely untrue, twisted, and out of context. Jim is still devoted to his family and his music, but the damage had already done. Nothing was believed by the fans. Chrissy, meanwhile, played it flawlessly. She made no mention of the disclosures. Rather, she shared a single image of her hand with her wedding ring shining in the sunlight on Instagram, captioning it, "Peace greater than chaos." Within 8 hours, the post had over 1 million likes. Then, however, there was another twist. What was dumped by Harlem Truths? The missing piece was called "A Correspondence Between VH1 Producers" by email. The reveal was too excellent for the ratings, according to one producer who said, "Chrissy asked us not to exploit Jim's reaction. We ignored it." Another said, "She has no idea how widely shared this will be. Jim's going to. That's show business though, to be crushed." The public immediately became interested in VH1. Supporters charged that the network purposefully set Jim up for humiliation, used black love for views, and manipulated Jim's emotions. The hashtags #CancelVH1 and #RespectChrissy trended together. Then the most outrageous turn of all occurred. One last file was hinted at by Harlem Truths. Chrissy's new spouse allegedly sent her a note. On the evening of the reunion, she received a brief text message. "I'm proud of you. Let them speak. I will always have you." Admirers froze. All of a sudden, it was more than Jim's demise. It has to do with Chrissy's new beginning. The identity of the mystery man was the subject of intense speculation. Blogs went in depth. Some cited the well-known architect Marcus Bellamy, whom she was said to have met in 2022. Others conjectured that she was a longtime industry insider who had maintained her privacy. With titles like, "Jim lost 20 years, Marcus won forever," memes began to appear. Jim's quiet became more and more noticeable every hour. For once, he wasn't clapping back on Instagram Live or dropping cryptic bars. Insiders speculated that he was in shock, withdrawing in his Harlem townhouse and rejecting calls. But Mama Jones wasn't quiet, wasn't posting selfies with chains and shades. She made another, more straightforward post. "I adore Chrissy just as much as I love my son. What you all witnessed on television isn't half." Although they both cause pain to one another, sometimes the lesson is in the loss. Her remarks went viral. There was an ongoing debate among the fans. She was allegedly disparaging Jim. Some claimed she was shielding him. The fire only became hotter in either case. Returning to fans started searching through old love and hip-hop videos on social media like detectives. They discovered a 2013 clip that had emerged with millions of views in which Chrissy said to Jim, "I can't wait forever. I won't wait forever." Supporters call it the fulfillment of the prophecy. Late that night, however, was the most startling moment. What appeared to be a fresh voicemail from Jim that was recorded only a few days prior was shared on Instagram by an enigmatic account. His voice cracked in it. "Tell her that I still adore her. Inform her that I simply didn't know how to express it. Tell her I didn't think she would ever go." Like wildfire, the voicemail went viral. It proved Jim was broken, according to some. Others accused Chrissy of manipulation and an effort to drag her into the past. In any case, the internet was unable to turn away. Then, in an unexpected move, Chrissy went live once more. Her tone was steady, her expression tranquil. She confronted the pandemonium. "I didn't want this to turn into a circus," she stated. "But let me be clear, Jimmy was my family, my partner, and my love. However, love without action is limbo, not love. And I refuse to remain in limbo any longer." She went on, tears in her eyes. "He had his chance. He had 20 years of chances. Now I have peace. I have happiness. I have someone who picked me out of the blue. And there is no leak. No headline can erase that rumor." Heart emojis, clapping hands, and loads of queen energy erupted in the comments section. Her detractors were also silenced. When Chrissy spoke, her words were as loud as thunder. However, they believed that the story had reached its conclusion. One last teaser was released by Harlem Truths. The internet came to a halt when it saw a blurry picture of Chrissy and her new husband with the remark, "The face reveal comes tomorrow." After decades of drama, who was the man who eventually captured Chrissy's heart? The countdown started. Twitter went into a tailspin. Blogs conjectured endlessly, while Jim remained mute, absent, and troubled by the love he believed he would always have. The globe eagerly awaited it. It wasn't simply another day tomorrow. The face of the mystery man would emerge tomorrow, and when it did, Jim and Chrissy's story would never be the same. Although there has been pandemonium on the internet in the past, nothing prepared it for the bomb. At precisely noon the following day, Harlem Truths was released. Their eyes rejuvenated with a single photo. Chrissy Lannon and a tall, well-dressed man with a bright face stood hand in hand. "Meet," the caption said, "Chrissy's husband, Marcus Bellamy." The response was instantaneous. Twitter was filled with screams from fans. Screenshots went viral from YouTube to blogs to TikTok to Instagram, claiming that she really married him. Marcus' name was trending all around the world in a matter of minutes. Marcus wasn't a nameless person. He was a well-known celebrity architect who created residences for musicians. According to reports, he was commissioned by Rick Ross, Jay-Z, and Alicia Keys to design one of his Miami properties. Chrissy's new husband was no longer only a mysterious figure. He was a power player who had links to the biggest fans. Put the tale together. Leaks claim that in 2022, Chrissy and Marcus met at an interior design gala. He was enthralled with her presence, according to sources, who described her as a woman who understands her value. They were discreetly inseparable by 2023, and by early 2024, with fewer than 30 people present, got married in Spain beneath a pink sunset. Theories were all over the internet. Some said that Chrissy had been plotting her breakup with Jim for years in secret. Others asserted that Jim had kept her waiting while Marcus had been the mysterious man all along, helping her behind the scenes. Memes started to appear. According to one widely shared tweet, Jim gave her 20 years of excuses. Marcus gave her 20 months of assurance, but Jim stopped keeping quiet. He streamed live on Instagram a few hours after the reveal. His voice was gruff, his face was obscured by shades, and his chains clanked as he moved in his chair. "They want me to fold," he said. "They want me to appear weak. Let me tell you something though. She never left me. I lost her." The live rapidly deteriorated. Thousands of people watched, and #Chrissy1 hashtags flooded the comments. Jim's anger erupted. "Marcus, that guy is a clown. When I held her down, he wasn't there. When the streets came for us, he wasn't there. He is unaware of the past," Jim said nearly under his breath, but then came the slip. "While she was still with me, she had been conversing with him." It was immediately spotted by fans. Screenshots became widely shared. The headlines shouted, "According to Jim Jones, Chrissy cheated on Marcus." The story suddenly took a different turn. Did Chrissy and Marcus have a similar relationship? Or did Jim fabricate lies to restore his honor? By releasing what they said were 2021 emails between Chrissy and Marcus, Harlem Truths added fuel to the fire. The internet went crazy when Chrissy supposedly wrote, "You see me in ways Jimmy never did. You make me feel chosen." After being in limbo for decades, Team Chrissy believed she had every right to go on. She was accused of treason by Team Jim, who said she set up her escape by playing the victim. Marcus, meanwhile, broke his quiet by sharing a picture of himself and Chrissy at dinner on Instagram. She rested her head on his shoulder. The fans went crazy when they saw the caption, "I chose her when it mattered." Forever means forever. The romance was lauded by some. Others accused him of robbing Harlem's legendary Chrissy, as Chrissy's kidnapper from the folklore of Harlem. Next, Mama Jones returned with a new video of a kitchen counter.